I can tell you, do you know how you know that Tai Chi is a Chinese exercise? Because it's done slowly. If you did it fast, it would be a Russian exercise. All right. So the way I like to teach Tai Chi is there's 12 warm-up exercises. We have neck, shoulders, lower spine, hips, knees, and ankles. All right. Kind of work our way through the bodies. 2 exercises for each center of the body. So I like to teach the principles of Tai Chi through those 12 warm-up exercises. And then once you have those down, then we can progress and start learning a form. And that's what we do in this class. So we go through the warm-up exercises. I'm going to go through them in a little bit more detail than what I normally do. And then if we have time left over, we start working on a form, which is called Tai Chi for Arthritis. And actually the name has been changed to Tai Chi for Arthritis and Fall Prevention. So it's a perfect form for someone that has Parkinson's disease, okay? And we kind of slowly step through and learn that form, okay? We're going to spend a little bit more time on the warm-up exercises since you've never done them, and you're familiar with the seated hip and the seated knee exercises, but I don't know how much we've done of the standing hip and knee exercise, so we're going to work with those a little more today, okay? So that's the game plan, all right? So first, we're going to start at the neck. First exercise is called a chin tuck. Keep the chin level. Feel like someone's gently pushing back on the chin and feel the nice stretch on the back of the neck. Key is to keep that chin level, okay? And I don't expect you to remember any of these exercises. Just follow along. As you get to doing it for a longer time, then you'll get to know them a little better, okay? So from that Wu-Ji position, knees bent, tucking in the tailbone, head is lifted by a silk thread. I'm going to float the hands up in front of us, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin while looking straight ahead. Hands come out, the chin gently floats up, and sink the chin down to the chest. Again, we float the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin while looking straight ahead. Keep that chin level. The hands come out, the chin gently floats up, and sink the chin to the chest. Looking at this one from the side, we float the hands up. I tuck in the chin, keeping the chin level so I feel a stretch on the back of the neck. And then the hands come out, the chin gently floats up, and sink the chin to the chest. Let's do that one more time. Float the hands up in front of us. We're tucking in the chin, feel that nice stretch on the back of the neck. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and sink the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Next neck exercise, we're going to look side to side, prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball with the left hand on top. I'm mirroring you. So just turning the neck, I'm going to watch the right hand going over the right shoulder. I look to the right, gently push down on the left hand. And come back to center, back to prayer hands. Tai Chi ball, now the right hand is on top. Watch the left hand going over the left shoulder. Look to the left, gently push down on the right. Excellent. Come back to center. Tai Chi ball, left hand on top. Watch the right hand going over the right shoulder. Look to the right, push down on the left. Come back to prayer hands. Tai Chi ball, right hand on top. Left hand, left shoulder, look left, gently push down on the right. And come back to center. One more time each side, looking good. Tai Chi ball, left hand on top. Watch the right hand going over the right shoulder, look right, push down left. Come back to center, prayer hands. Tai Chi ball, right hand on top. Left hand, left shoulder, look left, gently push down on the right. And come back to center, prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Beautiful. Shoulder exercises, forward shoulder circles. Bring the shoulders back, then up, then forward without leaning forward and down. Shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Good job, gentlemen. Shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Now reverse that. Shoulders forward, then up, then back, and down. forward, up, back, and down. One more time, forward, up, back, and down. Good job. Next, we're going to gather chi. So this is the same thing we did in the breathing exercise. However, we're working our shoulders here. So you're going to imagine someone's gently pulling at your wrists. You're going to feel the body open and expand, all right? Parkinson's wanted to do exactly the opposite. Parkinson's wants to make your body tense and make the body start contracting on itself. And so we're offsetting that by this opening and expanding, okay? So you imagine someone's kind of gently pulling at your wrist, feel a stretch in your shoulder, in your elbow, chest, and back. Chinese call it reaching for infinity, okay? This is not an aggressive move. It's very, very gentle, okay? So we're going to gently reaching out, reaching up. Feel that beautiful stretch. And then exhale and relax the hands down. Gently reaching out, reaching up. Beautiful stretch. And relax the hands down. One more time. Gently, we're reaching out, reaching up. Lovely stretch. And then exhale and relax the hands down. Beautiful. Touching heaven and earth. We're in this, so last exercise, we're opening up our body horizontally. Now we're opening up our body vertically, all right? So I talk about the silk thread holding your head up. You feel like someone's lifting up on that silk thread. This is a very subtle movement, but you start opening and expanding the body, okay? Several of my, you guys are all pretty tall here, but several of my students, myself included, what are you laughing at? You don't feel tall? Okay. Several of my students have gotten taller, including myself, doing Tai Chi. So this is one way. But more important than that, you're opening up this area of the body so the organs start getting better circulation. You're opening up the discs in your spine so your back starts feeling better. If you have sciatica, it can help with that too, okay? So from prayer hand position, left hand pushes up, the right hand pushes down, and we stretch the spine. And come back to center. Right hand is up, left hand is down. Again, gently float the head to the ceiling. Feel that lovely stretch. And come back to center. Left hand is up, right hand is down. Float the head gently to the ceiling. And come back to center. Right hand is up, left hand is down. Again, gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. One more time each side. Left hand up, right hand down, gently stretching the spine. Come back to center. Try and keep that good straight body posture. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. Prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Excellent. All right. Second spine exercise, lower spine exercise. In this exercise, we're going to try and not move the hips, all right? But we are going to turn the whole upper body. So I'm not just turning the neck or the shoulders, but I'm turning the whole upper body. So as I turn to the left, my belly button turns left. As I turn to the right, my belly button turns to the right. But I do all of that without turning the hips, okay? So we start in the prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top. Now, try and keep the ball and your belly button in sync with one another. So as I turn to the left without moving the hips, when the belly button stops turning, the ball stops turning. Perfect. Turn the ball over, right hand is on top. And then as I turn to the right, when the belly button stops turning, the ball stops turning. And then we turn the ball over. Good job, gentlemen. Gently turn to the left. Turn the ball over, right hand is on top. Gently turn to the right. Nice job, gentlemen. Turn the ball over, left hand is on top. Gently turn to the left. Turn the ball over, right hand is on top. And gently turn to the right. And then we turn the ball over. We come back to center. and relax the hands down. Beautiful. All right, shake your legs loose. Get yourself a drink of water. We're going to do the lower body exercises next. There's bottles of water back there if you need one. Actually, give ourselves a little bit more room here. So, Alan, we're going to be testing your balance. All right, so I'm going to take this chair, turn it sideways. So, in case you need it, it's there. Okay? Because we'll be testing your balance more than we do in the level 1 class. Okay? I'm going to leave this here just in case. All right. All right, so now we move to the lower body exercises. We're going to be testing your balance here, kind of working on your balance, okay? This is one of the biggest benefits you can get from Tai Chi, although you will find as you go through it, you'll have other and different benefits. When I first started, I was in my mid 40s and I thought my balance was pretty good until I started doing Tai Chi. It was like, ooh, I need to work on this apparently. But my balance came back pretty rapidly, but I also found I was sleeping better. And then I've had other things like I used to have a neck issue and I don't anymore. I had there's a disc in my neck that isn't lined exactly, and it's still there. But now, since I've been doing Tai Chi, it doesn't bother me at all. So, a lot of different benefits. But we're going to work on our balance, all right? So, we're going to start with the side to side hip exercise, all right? As we do this exercise, we're going to shift all the weight on one leg. We're going to keep a bend in the knee, all right? Your natural body instinct is going to be to lift and lock the knee out. That's actually going to make your balance worse. So, we're going to keep a bend in the knee, keep the upper body nice and straight. Make sure that you're not leaning out. Make sure you're not pronating the hip out. Keep that upper body nice and straight. With the other foot, we're going to try and tap that toe. Okay? So, use your chair if you need to. Okay? The chair is an exercise aid. It's not a punishment or anything. Okay? All right. And it's more important that you hold on to the chair and you get your body mechanics correct, because that's what we're ultimately trying to teach you. So it's more important that you hold on to the chair and get the body mechanics correct than try and not hold on to the chair and end up doing something like that. Okay? All right. Prayer hand position. Push to the right, weight to the right, bend in the right knee. Use the chair if you need to as you tap the left foot or float the left foot. And come back through center. Push to the left, weight to the left, bend in the left knee, tap that right foot, or float the right foot. And come back through center. Push right, weight right, bend in the right knee, keep that upper body straight. Tap or float that left foot. Come back through center. Push left, weight left, bend in the left knee, tap the right foot, or float the right foot. And back to center. One more time. Doing good. Weight shifts right, bend in the right knee, tap the left foot, or float the left foot. Come back through center. Push left, weight left, bend in the left knee, tap the right foot, or float the right foot. And come back to center. Relax the hands down. Excellent. All right. Doing good. Next exercise, I'm going to turn sideways to demonstrate it. I like to call it the hokey pokey. Name hasn't caught on yet. I'm tapping the heel in front of me empty, and then tapping the toe behind me also empty. Okay? So I'm keeping all my weight on this leg, and I'm keeping that knee bent. From this perspective, I'm keeping the upper body straight, so I'm not leaning backwards and forwards as I do this. I keep my upper body nice and straight. Okay? From this perspective, As I touch my toe behind me, keep plenty of space between your feet. A lot of people, and my Parkinson's friends specifically, when they step back, they try to put one foot behind the other. All right. It's a really bad idea that's going to get you in trouble at some point. All right. So we want it in your mind that when you step back, you're keeping plenty of space between your feet. All right. So when you're standing at the mirror in the bathroom and you're done shaving and you want to step back, we don't want you to step back like this. We want you to step back like this where it's safe. Okay? So we get to practice that in this exercise. One more thing, because there's always one more thing. As we transition between heel and toe, a lot of times we just want to swing our leg. Um, I want my Parkinson's friends to lift the knee, touch the heel, lift the knee, touch the toe. It doesn't have to be as high as I'm lifting my knee, but I'd like you to lift that knee as you transition between heel and toe. I want you out of the habit of just barely lifting the foot off the ground, okay? This is important. That one of the ways doctors diagnose you for Parkinson's is they watch your walking gait. And people with Parkinson's kind of just slide their feet across the ground. They don't lift their knees when they walk. So we want to kind of break you of that habit. Okay? All right. So I'm trying to give you the reason behind these exercises besides just the exercises. You guys all seem like smart guys. So sometimes if you know the reason why, it makes it more likely that you'll keep doing them. Okay? All right. So weight shifts right, bending the right knee. Tap left heel in front of us, hands behind us, or using the chair. And then transition, tap left toe behind us, hands in front of us. Empty on the heel. And then lift the knee as you transition, empty left toe. Keep all the weight on the right. One more time, empty heel. And empty toe. And come back to center. Beautiful. You can push that chair behind you back if you want to, Andy, to give yourself more room. You got a long leg, so. All right, other side, weight shifts left. Bend in the left knee. Empty right heel, hands behind us. Empty right heel. And then transition, empty right toe. Empty right heel. Lift the knee as you transition, empty right toe. One more time, lift that knee as you transition, empty right heel. And empty right toe. And return to center. Excellent. Seeing really good foot placement. Good job. Also, pardon me? Yep. And I was just going to address that actually. So, yes, good foot placement, good posture, by the way. I'm seeing really good posture. A lot of times when people first do that, they'll do this as they put the foot behind them. Instead, you want to keep that good posture. Yes, as you first start out doing Tai Chi, if you've noticed, it's a balanced exercise. Whatever we do on the right, we do on the left. That's not the way most Western exercises work. You have a dominant side and you work on improving that dominant side and you kind of ignore the weak side. Tai Chi is not going to do that. It's going to build a balance between the two, which is important because you need both feet to walk, right? Or whatever you're doing. So what's going to happen is so as you start out, you're going to say, wow, my balance is a lot better on one side than the other. But as you go through in about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe a little longer than that, you're going to start to notice a balancing between the two sides. The weak side may not always catch up, but a lot of times it will. Okay. And you're also with Parkinson's, a lot of variations on Parkinson's disease. It's a very individual disease. It's going to affect everybody a little different. But in general, you're going to have a rigid side and a weak side. And that weak side is always going to be, is going to need just a little bit more love to catch up. Or that weak side may continue to be just a little weak, but it doesn't mean that you can't improve that weakness, all right? It doesn't mean that you can't make that weak side give you better balance, even though, let's say your right side is your weak side. Maybe your right side, you're never going to have quite as much balance on the right as you do on the left, but you can still improve that right side, even though it's still your weak side, okay? The ironic thing is one thing that helps balance is softness. So the rigidity isn't going to help your balance either, all right? One side rigid, one side weak. Sometimes those two conditions balance out balance-wise, okay? Okay? All right. So now we get to a balance test. We're going to do a heel kick, all right? I want everyone to be safe. This is why I make sure you have a chair next to you, all right? So we're going to do a heel kick, 4 motions. Just watch for 1 second. 4 motions. We're going to pick the leg up, kick the leg out, pick the leg back up, and float the foot to the ground, all right? So we're going to use all of our principles of balance. The leg that has the weight on it, the knee stays bent, all right? And again, now we're really testing your balance. So your body's going to have a tendency to lift and lock that knee. Leave that knee soft, all right? You're going to keep your body straight in this direction. So as I'm lifting my leg up, I'm not leaning out. I keep the back straight. See what happens when you lean, right? From this perspective, I'm going to keep the back straight. So as I lift the leg up, I'm not leaning backwards, but I keep the body straight. Okay? Got all that? Make sure you're standing close to your chairs so you can use them. It's a lot better to have that chair and on the first couple. So we eventually want to get you to the point, I was just doing the leg part, that as you pick the leg up, that you punch out the opposite hand. Okay? But to start with, just have that chair close by and maybe have that hand kind of hovering over the chair. Maybe you don't need the chair, maybe you do. But have that hand kind of hovering by the chair as you do this exercise. So if you need to hold on to it, you can. Okay? All right. Any questions? All right. So weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee. Use that chair if you need to. Pick up the left leg. Heel kick left, punch out the right fist if you're able to. Pick up the left leg and float the foot to the ground. Weight shifts left, bend in the left knee, pick up the right leg. Heel kick right, punch out the left fist. Pick up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. All right. Told you it's going to be a balance challenge, right? Balance challenge. Easy for me to say. So, give you a hint about this one. We're not in competition with one another. So it doesn't matter what our neighbor is doing, and we don't have to prove to anybody that we don't need the chair. Your balance is going to come a lot quicker, and you're going to learn a lot easier if you hold on to the chair and go through that full range of motion and make sure your body mechanics are right. Yes, my knee is bent. I'm lifting the leg, I'm kicking out, my knee is bent. So check all of your body mechanics, hold on to the chair, use those body mechanics, make sure those are right, and you'll find it's a lot easier to then start to let go of the chair. Okay, it usually starts out, people have a death grip on the chair, and then they have the palm of the hand, and then a couple fingers, and then they kind of float the hand over the chair. Okay? There's one other thing I was going to say. Maybe that's enough for now. I think that's enough for now. You want this other chair on the other side of you, Alan? Okay. Yeah, you probably don't need the chair behind you unless you need it to sit down and rest. And if your legs do get tired, please do rest. Pardon me? Yeah. Yep. A lot of times in this class, we just have one chair or the two chairs. We don't necessarily have the chair. But if you get tired, please sit down. Don't exercise when you're tired. That's when you're more likely to injure yourself. You definitely don't want that. Okay? All right. So using the chair, going through the full range of motion. Now remember the other thing. So the key on this exercise is this lifting of the knee. All right? I'd much rather see you lift the knee and then tap the toe, lift the knee and come back to center. That's a lot better than doing just this with the foot, okay? So this lifting of the knee becomes very important. We're building up our core, working our hip, and working our knee, okay? So from the Wuji position, weight shifts right, use that chair. Pick up the left leg, heel kick left, punch out the right fist if you're able to. Pick up the left leg and float the foot to the ground. Make sure you're lifting that knee. Weight shifts left, bend in the left knee. Pick up the right leg. Heel kick right, punch out the left fist. Pick up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Better you use the chair and go through that full range of motion. Weight shifts right, pick up the left leg, heel kick left, punch out right fist. Pick up that left leg, float the foot to the ground. Don't be afraid to use that chair. Weight shifts left, pick up the right leg, heel kick right, punch out the left fist. Pick up the right leg, float the foot to the ground. Do it one more time. Use that chair. It's an aid. It's not a punishment, not yet anyway, okay? Weight shifts right, pick up the left leg, heel kick left, punch out the right fist. Pick up the left leg, float the foot to the ground. Weight shifts left, bend in the left knee, pick up the right leg. Heel kick right, punch out the left fist. Pick up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Excellent. Good work. Good work. Doesn't matter at this point. Don't worry about the punches. We want to get your legs strong. Once your legs are strong and you don't need the chair, you'll be able to punch at will. But yeah, that's actually a good point. I should have mentioned that though. That don't worry about the hand exercises. You want to worry about your legs. When you do Tai Chi, it's like a plant growing. So you want to put down good roots, and your feet are the roots. So if you remember in third grade when you had they gave you a little cup of dirt and a seed, and you put the seed in there and nothing happened for 2 weeks. Well, a lot was happening, but it was all happening with the root system. And so you want to build good roots. So you want to work legs first. And even as I teach Tai Chi, as we get into teaching the movements, I teach the feet first. It's very, very rare that I teach you the hand movements before I teach you the feet. So Tai Chi is rooted in the feet. It's governed by the Dantian, and it's expressed in the hands. Same way a plant grows. Okay? So yeah, it's much better to use the chair. And like I said, this lifting of the knee becomes really important. Okay? And the key is to be able to lift that knee and keep the body and the back straight. Okay? And even for the martial arts side of Tai Chi, like if I were to try and deliver a kick doing it this way, it's hard to get any power on a kick trying to kick somebody and doing that. However, if I do this, I can actually develop a lot of power on a kick. And it's all part of lifting that knee. Okay? All right. Second knee exercise. Now this one gets into the heart and soul of Tai Chi, and it's called the bow stance. Let me demonstrate it for you one time. It's called the bow stance, okay? Concentrate on the feet first. So there's a lot going on in this exercise. Literally, there's like 20 things happening simultaneously. There's very subtle things. I want you to concentrate on 2 things to start with, okay? When we step out, I want to make sure we keep plenty of space between our feet, that when we step, we don't do this, but we do this. So we have plenty of space between our feet, okay? The second thing, and actually really it's the first thing, I'm just telling it to you second, is we want to make sure the step forward is empty, okay? So as I step out with this foot, there's no weight on that foot, all right? I have the foot on the ground, but there's no weight on that foot. All my weight is on the back leg. And then I shift my weight forward, okay? Yep. So it's called an empty step, all right? This is, you're gonna find this over and over again in Tai Chi, is doing empty steps. But it makes a huge difference, not only here in class, it's going to make a huge difference out there in the real world. Okay? So watch people when they walk. When people walk, they kind of fall forward on the front foot. They're always putting their weight forward and kind of falling forward on the front foot. The problem is this gets you in trouble because you step on something wet or slick, all of your weight is already committed. That foot's going to slip out from under you, and you're gonna fall. It's gonna be very rare that you wouldn't fall, all right? However, if you keep the weight back, step out empty, shift weight, So I'm keeping my weight back as I'm stepping out empty. If I step somewhere I don't want to be, I can pick that foot up and move it somewhere else. Okay? So this is a really key point, especially this time of year, like Tuesday when it was pouring down rain, leaves were falling off the trees. I was looking out at parking lots when I was teaching Tuesday. Dave was in class. We looked out on a parking lot like this and it was covered with leaves. Every one of those leaves is an opportunity to slip because those leaves are slicker than snot when they get on a parking lot, especially a blacktop like this. They get really slick. And so if you're walking like this and you hit one of those leaves, that foot's going to come out from under you. While if you're stepping out empty, you can always shift where you want your foot to be. Okay? So again, real key point. The term, pardon me, term comes from an empty bucket sitting on the ground. So the Chinese talk about like an empty step, again, no weight on the foot. It's an empty bucket sitting on the ground. And then you fill that bucket with weight. And then you take the weight out of the bucket so it's empty. It's still on the ground. And then you pick the bucket up and move it. Okay? So with that in mind, as we step out empty, plenty of space between the feet. As we weight shift forward, we're going to punch out the opposite hand. Okay? All right, so this is called the bow stance. Any questions? All right. Hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Weight shifts to the right. Step out empty with the left foot. Good job. Weight shifts left. Punch out right fist. Bring the weight forward onto the left leg. There you go. Keep the back heel down. Weight shifts back and come back to center. Nicely done. We're back to the Wuji position, exactly where we started. Weight shifts left, step out empty right foot. This is empty. Now, bow stance, bring the weight forward onto the right leg. There we go. Keep that back heel down. Weight shifts back and return to center. Good job. Weight shifts right, step out empty left foot. Weight shifts left, punch out, right fist. Bring the weight forward onto the left leg. There you go. Weight shifts back, come back to center. Weight shifts left, step out empty right. Weight shifts right, punch out, left fist. Bring that weight forward onto the right leg. Weight shifts back, come back to center. Excellent. Now, don't forget the primary purpose. Your steps are looking good, but both of you gentlemen are starting to increase your stride. Keep your stride small. It'll be easier for you, okay? One of the most common things is, great, I'm stepping out empty. It's looking great. And then you start doing this and then this. Vaughn, have you read my emails? No, I've been having problems. Hi, Vaughn's joining us online. Hi, Vaughn. I have not, Vaughn. Been having problems with that email address, although I think I got it fixed. I'll try and respond over the weekend to you, Vaughn. Sorry. Been having a lot of things happening in the Miller household. It's been hard to keep up. All right. So make sure that empty step isn't going into where you're putting weight on the foot. Okay? So weight shifts to the right. Step out empty, left foot. Beautiful. Weight shifts left, punch out, right fist. Bring that weight forward onto the left leg. There you go. Weight shifts back and come back to center. Weight shifts left, step out empty right, and then weight shifts right, punch out the left fist. Bring the weight forward, shift the weight forward. There we go. Weight shifts back and come back to center. All right, shake your legs loose for just a second. Show you a little hint on this one. Let me get a drink of water. So, am I going too fast? Okay. So, we step out empty. The weight shift happens from our hips, all right? Both of you guys are doing really good with this, but when I want to weight shift forward, I push my hips forward. When I want to weight shift back, I push the hips back. My head and shoulders are just following my hips. It stays in a straight line, but when I want to weight shift, I don't do this to weight shift. I do this to weight shift, okay? So it all comes from the hips, all right? Think about Did either of you guys play baseball? Okay. Did you pitch? Okay. Um, but you know how to bat. So if you play, and all of us have, so the power from your swing and a bat doesn't come from your arms and doesn't come from here. All the power comes from the hips, right? I mean, watch Albert Pujols. He was a great example. If you think about Albert Pujols, he stood in like a wide woogee position and used his hips for the power. And you talk about, a batter when they're starting to bat, they lead with the hips, right? So we're doing exactly the same thing here. And a pitcher does the same thing. If a pitcher has leg problems or hip problems, they're not throwing the ball with any kind of power. All the power comes from the hips, all right? And so the power for this exercise also comes from the hips. Hey, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. All right, so bow stance. Weight shifts right, step out empty, left foot. Push the hips forward to weight shift forward. Opposite hand. You got it. Weight shifts back and come back to center. Weight shifts left, step out empty right, push the hips forward to weight shift forward, punching out opposite hand. Keep that back heel down. Good job. Weight shifts back, come back to center. Let's do it one more time. Weight shifts right, step out, empty left. Weight shift forward. Beautiful. Weight shifts back, come back to center. Weight shifts left, step out empty right. Bow stance, punching out left fist. Bring the weight forward onto the right leg. There you go. Weight shifts back and come back to center. Excellent. All right, we're going to stop there. Any questions? We're going to stop there for that exercise. When you're in the bow stance, 70% of the weight should be on your front leg, leaving 30% on your back. I don't take my knee beyond my toe. All right, so I'm not doing this. All right, but you want about 70% of your weight up here. Okay? Your hips work better when the knees are bent. Okay, that's the final piece of hint. Then I'll get off of this one. So if I'm stepping out bow stance, notice both of my knees are bent. If I straighten and lock out both of my knees, notice I can't move my hips anymore, right? When I lock my knees out, I can't move my hips. It's the way our body's designed. But when I bend the knees, now I can move the hips, all right? So we get your legs stronger, it's easier to step out empty. When your legs are stronger, it's easier to step out empty further. Okay, so if you want to increase your stride, increase your leg strength, because when your legs are stronger, you can step out a lot further and still stay empty. Okay, all right, let's finish with the ankles. Weight shifts to the right, left foot, touch heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, and toe. Weight shifts to the left, right foot, touch heel and toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. Second ankle exercise. Weight shifts right, left foot, touch little toe and big toe. Outside of the foot, inside of the foot, little toe and big toe. Weight shifts left, right foot, touch little toe, big toe, outside, inside, little piggy and big piggy, and back to Uji. Awesome. Shake your legs loose. Get yourself a drink of water. All right? Hydrate. Water's a good thing. Those are the 12 warm-up exercises. So, since both of you gentlemen are new to class, I took more time with those warm-up exercises than I normally do. Normally, by the time we're done with the warm-up exercises, it's about halfway through class, okay? But we had more time, and I know Dave's a nice guy. And Dave got a private lesson last week, so he can't complain too bad. But normally we're about halfway through class after we do the warm-up exercises, all right? I mean, I offer corrections and everything while we're doing it, but I slowed down so you could really understand what we're doing, okay? Any questions? Any questions? Pardon me? You were doing really well before COVID. COVID kind of gave you a setback, it seemed like. So I saw you progressing and your balance improved, but it seems like the over COVID, to me, this is what I'm saying. It seemed like over COVID, the disease progressed, and I saw that a lot with my Parkinson's friends. It's not only Dave. I saw COVID really seem to progress with a lot of my Parkinson's friends during COVID. And I don't think it was the disease. Um, I'm guessing it was the lack of exercise or lack of social contacts. Um, but I saw that happen, not with all of my Parkinson's friends, but I saw it with a lot of them. And it's not just my Parkinson's friends. I've seen it with other people also. But for some reason, COVID seemed to hit my Parkinson's friends hard. Um, and again, I don't think it's anything related between COVID and Parkinson's. I think it has to do with exercising or sociability. Being having those social contacts. So, just my observation. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, and Dave practices with me twice a week. I've got a Tuesday class it's not specifically for Parkinson's, and I don't teach it here, but it's not that far from here. It's a kind of a pay as you go class, and Dave has been doing that class with me for. We've been back in that class for over a year now. So, but yeah, I would think if you hadn't been doing Tai Chi for this year, I think you would be in I think you would not be in a good place, would be my guess. But that's and that's who my filter too. So just, um, but any other questions? Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, 'cause Dave doesn't like to waste time. That's for sure. And by the way, he used to own this beautiful 1955 Chevy car, totally redone. I'm not a big car guy, but man, I was impressed with the car. I know some guys are really into cars. I haven't been really into cars, but I appreciate the classics. He had a 1955 that was a Mac Daddy. Just sold it past year, didn't you? Yeah, had a brand new engine in it, a 485, was it? Was it a 362? It had a little bit of power to it, that's for sure. Jeez. All right. So next, we're going to do a leg strengthening exercise. Okay. So concentrate on keeping the knee bent and keeping the body straight. Use your chairs if you need to. Okay. This is a really good way to strengthen your legs. You don't necessarily love this exercise, but it will help you. Okay. So we're going to weight shift left, bend in the left knee, right foot, cat stance. I'm tapping the right toe next to the left foot. And then tap the right toe out in front of us empty. You'll be familiar with this part from my level 1 class. Cat stance. Right foot out to the side. Keep a bend in that left knee. Cat stance. And right toe behind us, keeping plenty of space between the feet. Cat stance. And return to Wu Ji. Other side, weight shifts right, left foot, cat. Tapping the left toe next to the right foot. Tap left toe out to the front, empty, keeping all the weight right. Cat stance. Left foot to the side, and cat stance, and left foot behind us, and cat stance. Keeping all the weight right, and then return to Wu Ji. Beautiful. Shake the legs loose. Feel that work the legs? There's a common misconception that you have to work really hard and have sweat pouring off of you to get your legs strong. You don't. That exercise right there is one of the best exercises you can do to improve your balance and your leg strength. All right. But there's a chapter 2. We haven't done chapter 2 in the level 1 class. So there's a chapter 2 to that one. So let's do that. So, key in this exercise, remember I said Tai Chi is, a lot of it is stepping out empty. All right. And so that's what we're going to do. We're practicing stepping out empty to the front, to the side, and behind us, and then shifting weight. Okay. We have an automatic switch in our head that when our foot hits the ground, we immediately want to start shifting weight onto it. All right. So we're overriding that switch. We're going to set the foot down empty, but not shift the weight. Then we'll shift all of the weight over there and allow the other foot to float. Okay. So don't rush on this one. Keep it nice and slow. Use your chairs if you need to. Weight shifts left, right foot, cat. Tap right toe to the front, empty. Set the right foot down, out, pause. This should be exactly the same spot you were at when you were doing the bow stance, all right? Maybe a little bit more width between your feet there. There you go. Now, shift all of the weight to the right, and then allows you to tap or float left foot behind us. And then set the left foot down with no weight on it. Shift weight back onto the left, and right cat stance. Tap right toe out to the side, empty. Set the right foot down without any weight on it. Shift the weight onto the right, which allows me to tap or float my left foot. Set the left foot down without any weight. Weight shifts left, return to the right cat. And now the exciting one, tap right toe behind us, empty. Set the right foot down, but keep your weight forward on the left. Now shift the weight back onto the right. That allows us to tap or float the left foot. You can just tap the left foot, that's fine too. Set the left foot down. Weight shifts to the left and cat stance. And return to Wu Ji. Beautiful. Other side. Make sure you're by your chairs. Sometimes you have a tendency to walk out in front on this one. Weight shifts to the right, left cat. Tap left toe to the front, empty. Set the left foot down with no weight on it. Now shift weight left, tap or float right foot behind us. Set the right foot down without any weight on it. Keep your weight forward on the left. Now shift the weight to the right and cat stance. Tap left toe to the side, empty. Set the left foot down, keeping your weight right. Now shift weight left, tap or float the right foot. And then set the right foot down without any weight. Shift weight right, left, cat. This mirroring thing hurts my brain. Tap left toe behind us, empty. I know, way, all right. Set the left foot down without any weight on it. Probably want a little bit more space between your feet. You're almost on a balance beam. There you go. Weight shifts back onto the left. That allows us to tap or float the right foot. And then set the right foot down. Weight shifts right and left cat. And return back to Wu Ji. Beautiful. Isn't that a fun one? Shake the legs loose. Get a drink of water. You're right. And that's why I wanted you to do. So that exercise helps with a lot of things. That helps with your balance. It helps with your weight shifting. It also, there's a thing called, and I never knew this name before, I started teaching proprioception, which when you step out and you bring the foot back, to bring the foot back to where it was. That exercise helps you with that. And people with Parkinson's have a problem with proprioception sometimes because they'll bring the foot back and it will be back here when in their brain they think it's here, or their brain thinks it's here, and they'll like step out and then they'll come back, and their brain doesn't realize their foot is there. It still thinks it's over here. And so it helps kind of adjust that as we do it. Okay. All right. Any questions on the class? Sure. Hmm. Hmm. Well, but you're doing the right things. Yeah. Walking is not a balance exercise, but walking is a good exercise for your lungs. It's good for your whole body. It's good for leg strength. So walking is a great exercise, but walking is not a balance exercise. Tai Chi is specifically a balance exercise. And don't worry, like when you all your weight's on one foot and your legs kind of doing this, that's actually a good thing. That's your body trying to figure out its center of gravity. Okay, so your body's learning as it does this. I've seen a lot of classes, and when they first do this exercise, there's a class I teach online, um, and that class has like two levels. And everybody in the second level, when they first were doing this exercise, they would sit here and their body would be doing this and their leg would be doing this as their body's trying to figure out their center of gravity. Now they do this exercise and they all look very calm. They're standing here just waiting for the next and doing this. They look very calm. It's because their body has learned balance better. Their legs have gotten a lot stronger. Yeah, good. Hmm. They they do have a better weight distribution than men. Women's weight is normally more towards the hips, and men is more up towards the chest. And so, but that doesn't mean you can't be trained to stand on one leg. Hmm. Right. Well, they've been practicing more than the guys have. Yoga is a really good exercise, and yoga does help with balance, not as much as Tai Chi, but that's one reason why they offer yoga here. Is yoga is a good exercise for people with Parkinson's. It does help a little bit with your balance, but it helps a lot with your stretching and the opening up of the joints and that rigid feeling. So the yoga class I teach here is a good option for another class. Um, Another reason that I would submit is men are a lot more abusive to their bodies than women are. However, that's not putting in, being pregnant and giving birth. That's a traumatic event. However, men tend to be more abusive to their bodies. Men tend to do more of the manual labor type stuff. And some of that can, you can wrench a shoulder easy or wrench your knee or something like that. So, um, but your body needs to practice balance. Like I said, when I started doing Tai Chi in my mid 40s, I thought my balance was pretty good. And I tried to stand on one leg. It was like, whoa, it's not as good as I thought it was. But I also noticed at the time I was working in a job where I had to put shoe covers, like the surgical booties on. And when I started doing Tai Chi, I would have to sit down or take a knee to put on my shoe covers. In a couple of weeks, I was able to just stand and put on my shoe covers. I didn't need to take a seat. In a few more weeks, my tool bag's about 50 pounds. I could hold a 50-pound tool bag on my shoulder and put on my shoe covers. So it makes a difference. All right, let's do our 3 cool down exercises. Lightly punch or slap the legs. We have more exercises that I do. There's some hand exercises, shoulders exercises that I also do in this level 2 class. But I wanted to make sure you had the basics. Tighten up all the muscles and relax. Tighten up the muscles and relax. And one more time, tighten up the muscles and relax. And lastly, we will gather chi. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. Oh, one more time, inhale and exhale. Good job, good job, good job. I think either one of you two gentlemen, if you don't mind pushing yourself a little bit, you'd probably feel pretty good in this class. Or if you feel like you pushed yourself a little too hard today, then stick with the level 1 and you can change to this class if you want. There's some people that want to stay in level 1 and they're happy staying there. I think either one of you two gentlemen could be in this class if you wanted. Like I said, you'd be pushing it a little bit, but you guys don't seem adverse to hard work. No, no problem at all. Are you very worn out right now? Okay, then you should be fine. Jenny, no no updates that I can give here. I don't have a location for my Thursday night, and my website right now. My understanding is it's not working, so I got to work on that. So that's the answer to your questions, Jenny. Or you can email me. It's just taking me a while to get back on my emails, as Vaughn pointed out. Thanks.